Yeah.
You're not going to fly off the handle at her, at the kids, just because you're frustrated with yourself. Or you're not going to come home and completely disconnect and go lay on the couch and watch football because you just had so much going on today. You got nothing left to give. So that's creating structure and being emotionally available to her. So if you can own your masculinity, you then give her not just permission, but opportunity to own her femininity, which is beautiful. Femininity is a lot like a flower, as in you've got to have the right circumstance, you got to have the right nutrients. It's got to be watered, tended for, cared for. If you ever had a garden and wanted to grow a flower, you know it's got to be nurtured and taken care of. Women are the same way. So your masculinity creates that opportunity for her to be feminine, and again, that's where the playfulness and the sexiness comes from.
Yeah, that's good. I'd say also too, we haven't touched on too, is if you want to grow in your sexual excitement and bring some new things in the bedroom, you need to have a foundation of safety and security, because that is going to require communication. You're going to have to be able to ask for what you want and actually have good, healthy communication inside of your relationship dynamic, so that you can explore those new territories. And all of that comes back to the structure piece that we just talked about, is being able to be responsive, not reactive, have safety and security, be able to lead, take charge, and actually show the way. But all that requires intimacy, like real foundational intimacy and closeness, rather than just sex.
Exactly. Something I noted that I want to make sure that we give to the guys is what sex is utilized for by each of the sexes, and that men use sex to feel respected and for connection. Women give sex when they feel secure and connected and significant.
That's good.
So we're both working towards the same goals, but men and women go about it differently. Men use sex to feel connected and respected. Women give sex when they feel secure and connected.
That's good.
So it's a great aspect and good learning point for men, because often we feel like if we're making any sort of progress or wins in ourselves, let's say it this way, like I go to work, I pay the bills, I pay the mortgage, whatever you think that you do to produce is amateur. Everyone's doing it. Congratulations, you have a place to live. I'm happy for you. But what you want to do is to go beyond that, is in order to feel respected and to have the sex that you want, is to go beyond that and begin to meet her needs in safety and connection, and she'll meet you back in the same spot.
And this is, you've said this before, trust is gained in droplets and lost in buckets. And so I think, a good point on this is like, well, man, I've been good for a couple of weeks and I'm meeting her needs and doing date night and rubbing her feet and all that stuff. Well, if you have breached her trust in any capacity, or if you have been a Chewbacca or Jabba the Hutt and you are just now turning your life around, you need to rebuild that. And it's going to take time, because she's looking at through the lens of safety and security primarily, and so it may take time to rebuild. But if you're in it for the long haul, then you're going to be invested into the work.
It's very true. And even research leans on that every negative interaction that you have with your spouse or partner requires between 7 to 11 positives. So if you have multiple negatives in a row, multiple arguments, multiple conflicts, for every single occurrence of a negative interaction, you now need to have between 7 and 11, we'll just say 7 for the sake of simplicity, 7 positive interactions that are non-sexual in order to put another droplet back in your bucket. So if you poured your bucket of trust out, you're not going to get it filled back probably in a week or months, whatever it may be for you, whatever you did to get in the doghouse, we'll call it that way. But you also need to be very aware of the positive interactions that you're having to create security. So for every 7, you get a droplet. Every 7, you get a droplet. If you have a negative, you just poured your bucket out again. So how many times, again, we say this all the time, but how many laps are you going to take?
Yeah.
Right? How many times are you going to pour out your bucket? Right? Continue to be consistent in the positive things.
It's good. And that consistency really comes down to, I think we could summarize this, is proper self-care as a man, and like really prioritizing what it means to be a high value man. So you prioritize your faith. You've got some type of practice that is, focused on devoting your life to service to a greater cause than your own life. You are prioritizing your fitness. You look good and take care of your body. You can actually protect, provide. You can stand in the gap. You can take the groceries in the house, and you don't get winded walking up a flight of stairs. So you prioritize your fitness. You prioritize your family meetings, family core values, created some structure for the entire family, but your kids respect you, your wife respects you because you're consistent inside the household. And your finances, you make money in the marketplace. And if you don't make the money that you know that you should, you develop new skill sets. You learn new things. One thing I'll lean into and compliment you on, man, is you are constantly gaining new information. You're always like just devouring information because you know that the version who I was yesterday is not going to be good enough for tomorrow.
That's right.
And that's the same mindset you need to have, and as a high value man, to truly create that center of safety and security for your wife, your kids, your family, your community, and the world. And so the structure that we're going to lay out for you guys is be the high value man. What's up, y'all? If you are a man struggling in his faith, fitness, family, or in finances, and you want to create breakthroughs and create followable excellence in your life, join Josh and I in our free High Value Man community and get access to the 6V formula, as well as the Relationship Mastery course by Mr. Josh. Click the link, join the free community of the High Value Man movements so that you can become the example worth following. Lead in your faith, fitness, family, and finances. Just click the link and join the free tribe.